comes to talk. And, oh man, just so much to cover today. Okay. So much to cover. Oh man. Now, if you're new, make sure you follow and subscribe. I'm just waiting to hear from Mike at the radio station to the exact time we're going to come on. Got a lot to cover. It's 50 days of Trump's second term, halfway through the second 100 days, and things are going incredibly well. So we're going to cover a lot of that, and a lot of things have happened. Okay. Okay, so we'll be on the air shortly. I'm still setting up, guys, so bear with me. Okay, we got that set up. And we're going to be on the air in 3 minutes. We'll be on in 3 minutes, a little less than that, actually. And I'll start the other stream up shortly. This time change, am I the only one that this time change is messed up? I mean, I just am not doing well with this time change at all. I don't like it. I don't like it. Two minutes and we'll be live. Yeah, it's really messed me up because, I mean, it's 6:02 a.m., but it's normally like 5:02. And it's hard for me to go to sleep at night because of the time change. I go all day and night, every day of the week. So I'm just on a clock. It doesn't matter where the sun's at or not. You know, and it's just throwing me off big time. I don't like it. So aren't they nice at Starbucks? They wrote me a nice message. Have a fabulous day. Isn't that nice? All right, 1 minute. Here we go. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Oh man, we have so much to cover. It's 50 days into Trump's second term, and things are going so well. So we're going to go through a lot of that, talk about the surrender of Canada yesterday, the surrender of Ukraine, and a lot of other things too. And there was a happening with a conservative that I want to talk about as well. We have 15 seconds. We'll be live on the radio. So stand by, people. 10 seconds. Yes. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. And of course, you are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We are now 50 days into Trump's second term. Things are almost going like clockwork. Everything's very positive. A lot of winning. You know, I often say I'll never disagree with President Trump. I'll never criticize President Trump. That's true, but there is one thing that I would have to take some issue with President Trump, and that is this sick of winning thing. I do not get sick of winning. It's nice to win. It's exciting to win, and we are winning. We've got so much to cover today. I want to start because we've covered it so much this week. Canada completely caved to President Trump yesterday. And, you know, yesterday morning I was sharing with you the Premier of Ontario, Ford, was threatening to shut the electricity off to Michigan, Minnesota, and the state of New York. And he was putting in a 25% surcharge, which is a tax, on the electricity in those states. That was crazy. President Trump put out a very, very long post on Truth Social about what he was going to do. He ordered his Commerce Secretary to increase the tariffs on everything by another 25%, which would take us to the 50% import tax mark with Canada. And a short time after that, Ford came out and totally caved. The surrender of Canada. And it happened on a dime. I've never seen something happen so fast. You know, Canada is a very weak country. We have had regime change in Canada. Trudeau's out because President Trump posted on Truth Social calling him Governor Trudeau. And now the Premier of Canada surrendered their nation's sovereignty to President Trump yesterday. And somebody got to this guy, Premier Ford. Listen to this. This guy's never missed a meal. You know, now this video, the Premier of Ontario, Mr. Ford here, who is morbidly obese. I mean, he's got the body of Christy. Is it Ontario? Yes, that's what I said. It doesn't matter. It's all Canada. We don't care about your provinces up there. They don't matter. We just one big country, Canada. This is one of those hostage videos. He seems very nervous. Ford was talked to by some higher ups in Canada who told him that he better get out there and withdraw these threats against President Trump in the United States. He doesn't sound his normal tough self, does he? Damn. Dominic LeBlanc. I mean, wasn't he on Friends? Mm. Oh yeah. It's about, not a boot. Okay, learn to speak the English there up in Canada. Okay, so he was talking all butch day before yesterday. Oh, I'm going to shut off the electricity. I'm going to raise the electricity price to 25%. Another 25% on top of the taxes we already have. And then that afternoon, he totally surrenders the sovereignty of all of Canada to Donald Trump. See, we were talking so much yesterday about how weak of a country economically Canada is. They have a small population. Most of the population is working poor, very low income. They don't have really any economic power. Canada is 100% dependent on the United States to survive, to live, to get by. That's why 80% of Canadians live within 150 miles of the border of the United States. They're so dependent on us. And when President Trump came in and raised those tariffs, that wasn't even with the auto tariffs. He was still holding those off till the second. But when the president came in and ordered yesterday, raising the tariffs another 25%, taking them to 50% on all goods imported from Canada, that was it. The powers that be in Canada got this guy in a room or on the phone and said, you need to go back there and take all that back and be very apologetic. Yeah, so Ford completely caved. Canada has surrendered. Trump has won again. This is a wonderful thing. We in America, we like Canadians, okay? We have no problem with Canada, and we have no problem with Canadians. But the elitists that run your government, they're the problem, these globalists. And they've been ripping us off. They've been taking advantage of the United States. They've been doing this for decades, maybe centuries. And we still want to be your friends and your brothers and all, but you've got to stop stealing from us. You've got to stop ripping us off. Americans, we're very forgiving people. We're not going to hold against you all these things that you were ripping us off and stealing from us and taking advantage of us, as long as you start doing the right thing now. So that's absolutely amazing. All right, our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. That's our toll-free number. It's toll-free no matter where you're listening, and you're welcome to call in about anything we bring up today. And then Ukraine agrees with Marco Rubio at the Saudi Arabian conference to a ceasefire. Now, I just saw a few minutes ago in the Daily Mail, I've not seen it reported elsewhere yet, but the Daily Mail has a pretty big story claiming that Russia has launched a massive rocket attack on Ukraine. And they have some photos. I don't know if they're from this current attack or if they're file photos. I haven't seen that reported on any other news outlets yet. But it's being reported in the Daily Mail, and they're saying, and they're left-wing and hate Trump, by the way, and the Daily Mail is saying that this is Putin's answer. Well, first of all, I need some confirmation from some people that I trust and believe, like the President of the United States, the Secretary of State of the United States, Florida's own Marco Rubio, or someone like that, to confirm that Russia is attacking Ukraine now. Maybe they are, but maybe they're not. Maybe somebody else is doing this because they don't want the ceasefire to happen. Because once the ceasefire happens, the real peace talks begin. And when the peace talks begin, well, that's the beginning of the war ending, and that's when the military-industrial complex stop getting fed all the tax dollars. So I am not so quick to just say, oh, the Daily Mail is reporting this story. And maybe, I need to know more, and I need some confirmation. It doesn't really make sense to me that Russia would do this right now because they're so in the they have such an upper hand against Ukraine in the negotiations because Ukraine is on the verge of complete military defeat. They're using Down syndrome people in their army. They're so short on soldiers for their army. I want to tell everyone though about Jupiter Joe Thomas. Jupiter Joe Thomas. He's a retirement planning expert. He's a financial advisor. And we talked to him about annuities, and I've heard about annuities my entire life. I've heard people talk about them on radio shows like this and elsewhere, and I never understood them until Joe Thomas explained them to me, and it took less than a minute. And when he explained to me what annuities are and how they work, I said, I don't know why everyone is not in this, because with annuities, your money is never at risk. No matter what happens in the stock market, there could be a complete depression. Your money is not at risk. You don't lose any money. I mean, that's enough right there, right? Plus, you have guaranteed income in your retirement for the rest of your life. So your money's not at risk. You have guaranteed income for the rest of your life, and you get a 10% bonus on your money on day one. So if you invest $50,000, you get a bonus of $5,000 right out the gate on day one. This is amazing. And that revenue stream comes in handy, doesn't it, when you're retired? Oh, yeah. I'm at that age now where a lot of my friends are retiring, and they all, the ones that do it on their own, they all do it the same way. They say, okay, my monthly bills are this, so this is what I need. Well, that's what they are today, but what are they going to be in 5 or 10 years, right? So that extra revenue stream through the annuity is amazing. In fact, I've got a friend of mine who is really jammed up right now. And really jammed up. He's in a lot of trouble, but he has annuities, and that income from the annuities are covering all of his expenses. It's absolutely amazing, and he's so grateful that he has them now. So listen, stop risking your money, turn your money into guaranteed income for the rest of your life, and take advantage of the no-charge consultation that Jupiter Joe Thomas is offering you. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. And you can take advantage of that no-charge consultation no matter where you are located. 561-743-0999. And if you miss the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. That's jupiterjoe.com. The number's listed right there. Make sure you tell him I sent you. All right, we're going to take our first break of this Wednesday morning and be right back. Oh, got a sneeze coming on. Oh, boy. Thank you. Thank you for the bless yous. Wow. Okay, we'll be back in just over 2 minutes. All right, welcome everyone. If you're new, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk, and if you'd like to support my program, go to mypillow.com, use my promo code Kane and load up. Look at these deals, and you can save up to 80%. On orders of $100 or more, you get 2 free standard My Pillows, all with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, and it's free shipping on all orders site-wide. Free shipping. No minimums, no catches. Free shipping on all orders site-wide with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Now, you don't have to order $100 worth of items, but if you do, you get 2 free My Pillows. Pretty good deal. Absolutely. And every time you use my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, you're supporting all my content, the radio show, my podcast, my YouTube channel, all of it. And it's greatly appreciated. Promo code Kane, Kane, at mypillow.com. We'll be back in about a minute and a half. If you're on hold, hang in there. Yeah, look at these great deals. Less than $10 for these cool pillows. The Mount Rushmore pillow, the American flag pillow, the Statue of Liberty, We the People pillow. These are just great deals. And again, free shipping site-wide with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And yeah, you can use my promo code in the My Store too. Okay, just over a minute and we will be back live on the air. 50 days of Trump's second term is what we're celebrating today, and it is exciting, isn't it? Absolutely. Less than a minute. Less than a minute. 40 seconds. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome. It's in the 50s this morning here in sunny South Florida, which is ice cold by our standards. I got to tell you, it was 57 degrees when I got into the car today. Oh, my goodness. That's the dead of winter. I know, we're wimps in Florida compared to a lot of you guys, but we're not used to the cold weather here in Florida. Okay, so where am I going to get to? I've got a lot to cover. Okay. All right, 10 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Am I the only one whose body clock is messed up from this time change? I just can't get used to it because, it's coming up on 20 minutes after 6 a.m., right? But that's usually 20 after 5. And, the way that I operate, I don't pay attention to when the sun's up and when the sun's down. I go all day, I go all night, and where the sun is and out doesn't really bother me so much. I'm just on this body clock, and it's throwing off my body clock. I'll get used to it in a few weeks, and then by the time I'm really used to it, it'll be time to change the clock. So I don't care what they do with it. Just if they could leave it the same all year long, I'd appreciate it, wouldn't you? Oh, I just can't quite get used to it. That's just me. I don't know why we do this. Someone a long time ago had gotten paid to bring this in. There was a reason, believe me. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike.
That hostage video from earlier by Ford, that's what that was. That was a hostage. You said it. That was a hostage video.
Yeah.
That order to do that video probably could have come down from as high up as Prime Minister Cornyn's office,
So, someone got to him. Someone got to him. And I noticed this new Prime Minister, he was silent yesterday, like a mute.
Yeah. That's the thing. Maybe he has a little bit of fear, too, because remember how he got it? Remember how this Prime Minister got in office, kind of like Kamala did,
Well, they know not to mess with. They know that Trump means business. All right, I appreciate the call, Mike. Yeah, he's right. He seemed terrified. Now, I want to share this with you. Now, I talked about this last week, and I hope this does not become a pattern. Now, Gavin Newsom has launched a podcast, okay? And Michelle Obama is also launching a podcast. And what the Democrats are doing is they're trying to take over podcasting because they think that President Trump was reelected because of podcast. And hey, listen, I'm a big supporter of podcasts. I have one, the Brian Craig Show podcast, which I've had for over a decade, is on all podcast platforms. All right, you should check it out, the Brian Craig Show podcast. And just uploaded a new episode last night. And so I understand the power of podcasts, but Gavin Newsom and Michelle Obama, they're trying to make their way in to this. And Gavin Newsom's running for president. And last week he had Charlie Kirk on, and I wasn't very excited about it. I was very upset with Charlie Kirk, and I like Charlie Kirk, but it was a big mistake. And what Charlie Kirk did, and there's an update, what Charlie Kirk did was send his people to Gavin Newsom. You know, a lot of people like to, it's called collabing, okay? People contact me about collabing sometimes, and I don't do it very often for a number of reasons, but on occasion I'll do a collab if it's, you know, with the right people. But the purpose of collabing, the reason people do collaborations on podcast and online is to try to get their followers to follow you, and they want you on so your followers will follow them. It's a barter thing, really. And Charlie Kirk, I was very upset with him because I felt he was legitimizing Gavin Newsom as a credible person. He's a complete snake. He's trying to pass himself off as a moderate. And then that was on his first show. His first guest on his first show, which was last week, was the great Charlie Kirk. Well, Gavin yesterday dropped his latest episode of his podcast, and his second guest was Michael Savage. I got a couple clips I want to share, and Savage should not have done this. I've got two clips. This is the first one. The second one's the really pathetic of Savage, but here's the first clip. They're talking about, I think this is the clip on immigration. Oh, I didn't realize that Savage was a lib. Wow, that's pretty. I'm pretty shocked to hear that.
The last comprehensive survey in the state of California, this is not a contemporary survey, needs to be updated, so that 67% of people that are here without documentation in California have been here for 10 plus years along the same way.
Okay, here's the problem with these conservatives going on Gavin Newsom's podcast. Gavin Newsom is establishing himself as a moderate, okay? A moderate.
But here's the vast majority of folks. The worker pays taxes, but they have several dependents at home who don't elude supplemental income from the state and the federal government. That's a problem.
And therein lies, yes, some of the sort of dialogue you and I will have to have in terms of what's the appropriate level of support and how you deal with that reality. The federal failure to address the issue of immigration policy, and border, we completely agree with. The question is, what's that pathway to address the example you just provided?
Okay, so, and I got another clip that I'm going to play after the break that is just really pathetic of Michael Savage. Now, I like Michael Savage, okay? I do like Michael Savage. I've listened to him forever, okay? And I do like Michael Savage. However, Gavin Newsom is manipulating his second conservative here, portraying himself as a moderate. And I know a lot of you will say, well, we know he's a California liberal. Many, many Democrats voted for President Trump because of the failures of the Democrats. But we didn't grow the majority in the House that we would have liked, because while a lot of Democrats crossed party lines and voted for President Trump, they still voted Democrat down ballot on that congressional races, okay? Because of the lunacy of Kamala and things, but they voted still for Democrats in the congressional races. And what Gavin Newsom is doing, he's not talking to you or me. He's trying to get back some of those Democrats that voted for Trump. He's coming off as a moderate. And he's doing this with the cooperation of Charlie Kirk and now Michael Savage. And I was very surprised that he was lib with this criminal who's been living illegally on the land for 20 years from Mexico. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. And I do have another clip, just one more, of Michael Savage with Newsom. And he is not a moderate. He is a radical San Francisco lunatic liberal. The next clip just shows how pathetic Michael Savage can be. He's got some ego issues, okay? All right, now, if you're on hold, hang in there. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. We're celebrating 50 days of winning for President Trump in his second term. We are halfway through today, the first 100 days of President Trump's second term. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll be right back. We will be back shortly. About 90 seconds, we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. I'll go to the phones. And also have this other clip of Savage from Newsom. I mean, Newsom is such a manipulator. I mean, these conservatives they're making big mistakes going on Newsom's show. I'm sorry. It helps him too much. And I don't know who'll be next. And Savage, the reason he picked Savage is because Savage is from San Francisco, remember? And he was mayor of San Francisco. He lives in California. 1 minute. We'll be back in 1 minute. Because remember, in the next election, somebody comes off as a reasonable Democrat, they could shave off some votes. We don't want that. Why are our people helping Gavin Newsom reinvent himself? You know what I mean? That's how I view it. All right, 20 seconds. We'll be back. Libertarians are the worst. They're almost as bad as liberals. They're very self-destructive. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We are celebrating day 50 of winning. Day 50 of President Trump's second term is today. Very exciting, and there's so much to celebrate. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I am Levi Roberts. How's it going?
All right.
I'm stationed over at Fort Riley. I just had a couple of questions.
Yeah, it's first names only, but that's okay. All right, Levi, what's up? Get ready, Mike.
Hey, man. How's it going? So first things first.
Be ready, Mike.
I appreciate the show. Thank you for having me. I'm an independent until the day I die. I believe both parties have both blood on their hands through their own way, but we're all American. We all do things, you know. We all love our country in different ways.
Yeah.
I just want to know, as a party for independent, what does the independent party have to do to boost themselves in Congress? Because Congress is run by the left and right.
Well, independents are cowards. You're a coward.
I'm a coward. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How am I a coward?
Well, why do you think I say that?
No, I'm just curious. Why do you think? I have no idea.
Because you're not tough enough to take a position. You want to be on both sides as opposed to taking a position. What blood does Trump have on his hands? You said everybody has blood on their hands. What blood is on Trump's hands?
What blood is on Trump's hands? Okay.
You said they all got. Just give me the most outrageous example. You say both sides have blood on their hands. Share the blood on Trump's hands.
Absolutely, I got you. Two of my buddies died in the Afghanistan bombing, and he blamed it on Biden.
Yeah, that was Biden's fault, but
no, it wasn't.
But
Biden's
Trump
fault.
didn't. What were your buddies' names?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah, well, please.
That's military information.
Military information.
I'm not gonna tell you that, dude.
You can't say you don't know the. Okay, yeah. I mean, why? No. And the other thing is this. I don't mind people calling in and disagreeing, but why pretend to be something and somebody you're not?
Can you explain more?
I don't have to explain. The explaining is just you trying to buy time to think of an answer. I mean, why can't you just call in as yourself and have a real conversation instead of doing this cosplay thing you're doing? Oh, I had a couple buddies lost. Lost at the Afghan withdrawal, and by the way, I'm at Fort whatever. Come on, just be yourself.
No, I'm not doing anything. Mm-hmm. I am being myself. I'm just saying.
No, you're not.
Why would you say the independent party they're cowards?
No. You said that everybody in power has blood on their hands. I asked you to give an example of Trump having blood on his hands. You mentioned the bombing in Afghanistan that he had nothing to do with. He wasn't even in office. So give an example of something that has resulted in blood on his hands. That wasn't an example. That was just your cosplay with your fantasy identity.
Fantasy identity. That I am a military member in the military.
I don't care what you're a member of. It doesn't matter. You said no.
Okay.
Why?
No.
Why should it matter? Why should it matter if you're in the military or work at Walmart? Well, you're better. You think you're better?
No, you're absolutely right. We're all. You're absolutely right.
So give me an example. Give me an example of Trump having blood on his hands. Something he's done that's resulted in him having blood on his hands. What's your rank, by the way?
You're absolutely right. No. Hear me out.
What's your rank?
You're absolutely right. At this time and moment, I have nothing. You got me on that.
What's your rank?
I didn't say Trump. I said conservatives.
What's your MOS? What's your MOS? What's your rank?
Hold on, dude. Let me answer.
You can't tell me your rank.
I could tell you my rank. I'm a freaking sergeant in the Army.
What sergeant? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, take care. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness, too many pauses. Thinking of answers. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vincent Wilkerson. How's it going, Brian?
Hey, Vince. That noise in the background was him Googling.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that guy there is a full-on liberal. Nobody stands on the fence that hard to where they can't even tell you why they're independent, why they They can't tell you anything at all. They're just going to
And he's in the military calling in, criticizing the commander-in-chief, which is a court-martial offense. He tells us he lost 2 buddies at the gate bombing in Afghanistan, but he won't tell us their first names because that's a military secret. It's all over the news, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Abbey Gate was his dilapidated plan on how to pull out.
Yeah.
You know, it made us look weak across the whole United States. It did not just make our military look like a bunch of wimps. It made us all look like a bunch of wimps to go pulling out of there with our tail between our legs while our military service members are being bombed and watching people fall off a plane. You know, that guy that called in, if he was any type of military at all, he would really not appreciate Biden in any way. There'd be no way to be an independent at this point. If I was in military service and saw something like that go on, I would immediately give in my papers.
Yeah. Well, I don't have time to talk to people that are cosplaying and have these fantasy identities because their life is so vacuous. Just be yourself. It's okay to be a loser and live with your parents or something, but just admit it. Don't call in with this stolen valor fantasy life of how many tours you did and all this stuff. I mean, my goodness.
I'm just appreciative that I was born and bred a conservative in Florida with my father leading the household the way it's supposed to be, because men like that, their mother has been coaxing them through life, washing their bottom, making sure they have no problems in this world. And that's what you get. You get a milquetoast man that has no values.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, good to talk to you. Take care. So let me finish up with Savage. So I got one more clip of Savage with Newsom. And let me tell you, Newsom is a dangerous guy. He is very smart, okay? He's a liberal lunatic, but he's very smart, and he's an incredible manipulator. He manipulated Charlie Kirk. Now he's done it to Savage. And what he's attempting to do is manipulate Democrats who voted for Trump to vote for him next time around and not JD or whoever our nominee is. And he's got these conservatives lined up to do it, to help him. So Michael Savage, the manipulation tool with Savage is his ego. He's got an ego. And the reason Michael Savage came on was so he could brag. Listen, I only have this one more clip I'm going to play. This is Michael Savage yesterday with Gavin Newsom on the Gavin Newsom podcast. Okay, did you hear that? So the whole reason Michael Savage did this is so that he could say that he's a millionaire. Oh my goodness. He just went, and Gavin Newsom, who is a master manipulator, knows how pathetically insecure Michael Savage is. So that's how we got him in. See all this bragging, I'm a millionaire, I have multiple homes, one in San Francisco, I got a home in Florida, I'm so rich, I'm a millionaire. Oh my goodness. Okay, now first off, that's just a lie. We have zero income. We have no state income tax in Florida. Not only do we not have a state income tax, it's in the Florida state constitution forbids an income tax in the state of Florida.
No, but at the end, well, we can get to that. But the bottom line, places like you used before, they tax their low-wage workers more than we tax our high
Gavin,
wage.
I shouldn't be punished for succeeding. And it's a disincentive to me.
By the
Why
way,
should I work? Why should I keep working?
well, there's many reasons, and you don't need to work. I know that. There's one thing I
of
know.
course.
You of all people do not have to work. Good.
But Gavin, I'm an immigrant son. I wore dead man's pants as a kid. Every nickel I have, I worked.
Okay, yeah, and he goes on. You know, this is bad news, guys. This is bad news. Conservatives need to boycott going on as guest on Gavin Newsom's program. He's coming off as a reasonable Democrat. This is that he's using the exact same tactic that Bill Clinton used to get reelected in 1996. And I know you and I are on to him, but he's trying to get Democrats who voted for Trump back. And you know what? He might get some of them if conservatives keep doing this. Who's going to be on there next? Andrew Tate, Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro? These people are nuts. They're helping a Democrat reinvent himself. Oh my goodness. All right. We'll take our last break of the first hour. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number's toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. We'll be right back. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys. All right, we'll be back in just over a minute. I'll go back to the phones. I got a lot more to talk about, too. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you're already subbed, please like and share the video if you don't mind. The show's flying by. Oh, my goodness. We're almost through the first hour already. I don't know where the time goes sometimes. Less than a minute, about 50 seconds. Two and two, yes. All right, 30 seconds. Time flies when you're having fun. That's absolutely correct, yes. And do you guys agree with me about these conservatives going on Newsom or not? Yes or no? Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Am I being too hard on these conservatives going on Gavin Newsom's program, or are these conservatives helping Gavin Newsom reintroduce himself and reinvent himself? All right, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. I could be too hard on him, but I don't think so. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once.
Brian?
Oh, you just made it. Yep. Go ahead. You're on the air. Oh, boy.
Brian?
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Oh, my goodness. It's like, unbelievable. So today, if you're on hold, hang in there. Today is day 50 of Trump's second term, and it's just filled with winning. And the Trump administration has put out a list of 50 wins in 50 days. I'll go through some of it as the show goes on. But, what President Trump did yesterday, he got Canada to cave, right? Ford dropped the tariffs. He got Ukraine to agree to a ceasefire. And then what he did with Elon, buying for cash with no discount, that Tesla yesterday was huge too. What's been going on with Tesla is insane. Liberals have been attacking, literally, physically attacking people on the roads driving Teslas. They've been vandalizing Teslas in car lots. And President Trump said he's going to label those people domestic terrorists, because it is. It's political terrorism attacking these Teslas, what they're doing. But he bought one yesterday, and I've never seen a president do something like that before. Oh, by the way, egg prices have dropped. You liberals out there know that you're not going to hear the talking points about the egg prices, because the egg prices have dropped. Gas prices have dropped to 2021 levels. So gas has dropped, egg prices have dropped. Canada surrendered yesterday on the threats on electricity. Ukraine caved on the ceasefire. I mean, things are just going so well. But this buying of the Tesla yesterday, I've never seen a president do something like this. Usually what presidents do is they'll go to the car plant, they'll go to the factory, and they'll take a picture on the assembly line with the car, okay? They may go to a car dealership and take a picture with the car, do some video and talk about it and sit in it. But have you ever seen a president buy a brand new car for cash before? And it's a car that he'll never be able to drive, because presidents can't drive cars like that. They can't really drive. That was amazing. And he did it for a couple reasons. One, for his friend, but also to help the industry. Elon Musk is investing in America too. He wanted to help his friend. This is the second Tesla he bought, because Kai Trump has a Cybertruck that he bought for her. And my wife and I, we recently bought a new car. If we had not bought our car recently, I may have gone out and gotten a Tesla yesterday. After seeing Trump buy one, I don't know if I would have, but I might have. I've never driven a Tesla. I'd have to drive it first to see what it's like. But that was an amazing thing he did yesterday. He spent his own money and actually bought a car that he'll never be able to drive. I mean, that's amazing. And they were asking him, how are you going to pay for it? He says, a check. And he said, no discounts. He said, Elon would give me a discount, but I'm not taking it because you all would say I got a discount. All right, let's try this again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford.
Hey, Bill, what's on your mind?
Well, I want to talk about Michael Savage, but first I want to compliment you. Nobody's better than weeding out the liars than you. You had more questions about military than this guy that probably never was in the military. That was great. As to Michael Savage, he said he had a friend that he's known for 20 years, pays taxes. What has Michael Savage done to help him become a citizen 20 years ago?
I don't know.
He had connections. He had money.
Yeah.
He could have crossed the border 20 years ago, come back, get him a visa, or come in the country legally.
Well, with Michael Savage, I haven't listened to Michael Savage in a long, long time. And I was never I like Michael Savage, and I have listened to his show.
I do too.
I have not listened in a long time, and I was never a nightly listener, okay? However, he, for years, I say, you hear me, there's some taglines, right? The Steve Kane Show was the longest running radio show in the state of Florida. You hear that? With everything I do, I'll say my YouTube channel, my podcast, this is where MAGA comes to talk. You hear that a lot from me. Those are kind of like my taglines, kind of like my branding, right? Michael Savage, this will sound familiar. His branding was borders, language, culture, right? Borders, language, culture. That was kind of like his tagline. Borders, language, culture. And now we find out that he has this friend who's been in the country illegally from Mexico that he's known for all these years, and he's been on the air acting as if he's some strong on the borders guy. And he's not. It's a lie. It was a lie, right?
Yeah.
I was shocked to hear that, and that is the main reason I played that, because I wasn't going to play. I wasn't even going to talk about it because I did the thing with Charlie Kirk last week. But when I saw him that he's like harboring, hiding, keeping secret this illegal when he's been on the air for all these years saying borders, language, culture, it's been a lie.
Well, but Charlie Kirk didn't do what Savage did about saying illegals, a friend that pays taxes, and he thinks that's wrong.
Well, I would like to know how his illegal friend is paying income taxes. How is he using someone else's social security number?
Yeah. Good question. That's why
I don't know.
Great at that.
Yeah.
Figuring out. I mean, if he was on your show, he would be. He couldn't talk. He wouldn't be able to answer your
Michael
question.
Savage is very good, except when he's talking to someone who disagrees with him. He can't handle it. He doesn't do well with anyone who disagrees. He screams and yells at them and hangs up on them. But I was in shock to hear him say that, because I always thought he was a strong border guy, but he's not, Savage.
Well, I just hope more conservatives don't do what he did, and they probably will. Oh, I know this person, I know that person for so many years. They're good people, and they pay taxes and or whatever, and try to justify the nice people. No,
Well,
they're illegal.
Listen,
They're illegal.
out of all the governors in this country, Gavin Newsom's he's only second to Whitmer in liberal insanity, okay? But he is, I'm telling you, he is, from a Democrat perspective, electable. Not mine, not yours, from a Democrat perspective. And the whole purpose of the podcast is to reinvent himself as a reasonable Democrat. A reasonable Democrat. He's sitting around, and last week with Charlie Kirk, he changed his thing on the trans sports thing. Charlie Kirk walked right into that and was manipulated. And now he's basically got the endorsement of Michael Savage by not only going on the show, but having agreement on Dreamers.
Yeah. You're right about Newsom. He's going to do it. I hope he doesn't, but he's on his way of doing it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, they're going to be lined up. There's a lot of these clout chasers, like the Hodge twins had Andrew Tate on the other day, right? Why are people obsessed with Andrew Tate? The reason they have him on is because he's got a large following online. So it's clout chasing. They want to have him on to try to get some of his followers to follow them. That's why all these people are doing it. Same thing with Gavin Newsom and these two conservatives that were manipulated by. And it really shows you how a conniving, sophisticated manipulator Gavin Newsom is. He manipulated Charlie Kirk, who's very good, and Savage.
I would like to see the ratings on the Democrats that he has on the show against Kirk and.
Well, he hasn't had any yet, and I don't think he plans on it. I got to run, but I appreciate the call. I want to tell you guys about the free doorbell camera offer from Sloman's. Take advantage of this, guys. Oh man, it's really an amazing thing to have. You get a notification on your cell phone whenever there's movement at your door. I have it. I love it. And no matter where you are, if you're indisposed in the bathroom or at the mall, at the grocery store, or on our cruise, you get a notification and you can, boom, pick it up. A lot of times, you guys on the cruise, you'll see me. I'm in my phone sometimes. I'm getting a notification that there's movement at my door, and I'm saying, who's at my house? While I'm in the Virgin Islands. And you can see it right there. And you can get a doorbell camera that connects to your cell phone for free with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Sloman's is also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. You get an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts, a lifetime warranty, and a backup battery. Plus, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. Give them a call. The number is so easy to remember, 1-800-ALARM-ME. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Good morning. It's Mike from Houston. How are you?
Hey, Mike. What's up?
Hey, so about the so-called independent who called in a little while ago.
Yes.
One of the things that gets me is people, and it's usually Democrats, who blame anything that happens during a Republican administration on the sitting president. So in this case, they would blame, President Trump for something that happened on President Trump's watch. Okay, that's fine. But when it's an embarrassing event that happens during a Democrat administration's watch, like the Abbey Gate bombing, then the causal burden falls on the previous administration. It's never their fault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that kind of disingenuousness and flip-flopping is it always just blows my mind. And the other thing I wanted to say was about Michael Savage's and Charlie Kirk's appearances on the Gavin Newsom podcast. You're right. Whether they know it or not, they're helping rehabilitate that lying weasel and helping him look like a moderate.
Ego is very dangerous in this business. This may be hard to believe for some people, but Steve tells me that I have like counter ego. I don't let myself get manipulated by these types of people. And these two were very easily manipulated. Listen, I'm looking at the clock and I'm out of time for the hour, but you made some good points. Thanks for calling. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. 1 hour down, 2 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Back right after our top of the hour break. All right, we'll be back in about 90 seconds. Welcome. If you're new, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Okay, 1 minute. We'll be back in 1 minute. I'm texting with Mike, the board op, at the radio station. If you're on hold, hang in there. 1 minute, we'll be back on the dot. Yeah, this shirt here, Trump has seen this shirt. This one caught his eye. He looked at it twice because it's, Make America, George Washington, if you don't get it. It's a good one. I've got 2 of these. It's a cool shirt. Can't make it great again. He actually had to make it first. Okay. 10 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We've covered a lot in the first hour. You're welcome to call in about any and everything that I brought up in the first hour. I'll take a call or two before I do any recapping or bring up anything new. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on everything I brought up in that first hour. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
The first thing is, man, I agree with you. That this time internal clock is messed up. I've been saying this for years. What the hell do we need this for?
Yeah, it's nuts.
It takes forever. They keep saying, "No, Congress is going to change it," and they never do anything. Anyway, back to the Gavin Newsom. I don't understand why any person who's not a Democrat would go on that show. I was hoping that guy would go on and nobody would show up, and then eventually he just cancel it. But they got all these.
See, and I know a lot of people may think I'm saying, well, you talk to liberal jerks all the time.
Yeah,
what I'm trying to tell you, by the way, thanks for the call, Doug. You make some good points. What I'm trying to tell you is that Gavin Newsom, like DeSantis, is running for president. He's trying to bring back home Democrats that voted for Trump to the Democrat Party. He's reinventing himself. And Michael Savage and Charlie Kirk helped him. They're helping him. I'm sorry. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm James. I'm calling from Italy.
Oh, okay.
How you doing?
All right. What's on your mind?
Great.
You called me.
I'm an American, but I'm an American, but I'm traveling in Italy, so I just thought I would see what's going on. And I saw Trump actually just tweeted recently. He said, if the Dow drops 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached immediately. Why do you think he would say that?
Well, I would guess that it doesn't apply anymore. There's something else in play. There's something else in play. Yeah. But the economy must be doing the economy must be doing pretty good. You're in Italy, so what are you complaining about?
Well, yeah, it's actually funny.
I know it is, isn't it? I know.
I work
you worked hard. Yeah, I know. You're the one. You worked hard. Well, where in Italy are you?
Yeah. I'm in Ischia, which is an island off of Naples.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's super fancy. That's not even like some cheapo, cheapo trip. So what are you worried about? The economy's doing well. You're in some exclusive part of Italy. What are you complaining about?
Well, I'm still an American, and I have I forgot what it's called. Oh, empathy.
Empathy.
And I have family members. Yeah, I have
tell
family
me
members.
Tell me about the stock market being down. Why is it down? What does it mean? What's the significance? Why should I be concerned?
I think it's down because we have a psychotic in the White House.
A psychotic.
He has no idea what he's doing.
No idea.
Psychotic, yeah.
What can you give me an example of President Trump displaying psychotic behavior?
Tariffs on, tariffs off. Tariffs on, tariffs off. Tariffs on, tariffs off. You tell me.
If that's what you think has been going on, you're the one that's psychotic.
Okay, tell me.
He didn't say that at all.
How is that not what's happening?
Well, now you're in Italy on a very fancy vacation, so maybe you're not up to date on the news. Okay, maybe you're behind on the news, and I don't know.
Please, yeah.
And I'm honored. What time is it where you're at right now?
It's noon.
It's
right
noon
in the middle
time.
of the day.
It's noon time. Really?
Yeah.
It's noon time. Maybe they don't change the clocks there because I thought Italy was like 6 or 7 hours ahead of the East Coast, but it doesn't matter. But so
that's correct. That's correct. Actually, they don't change the clocks here because the world is bigger than the United States.
Oh, that's too bad. So here you are. This is very interesting. You say that Trump is psychotic. Here you are on some exclusive, beautiful island off the coast of Italy.
Yep.
It's noontime, the middle of the day. Instead of enjoying the beach or a Vespa ride, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. You're listening to me, calling me with this Trump derangement syndrome obsession. So I would say you're the psychotic one. But to get to what with the tariffs, see hear the little bizarre responses. These yeps.
Go ahead. Yeah, keep going. Make your point. Make your fucking point.
All right, there we go, Mike. Hit that dump. Oh my God, we got to hit the dump for the first time today. If you're on hold, stand by as we wait for the delay to rebuild. Oh my goodness. He thinks Trump is psychotic. Well, I will tell you this. When he's talking about psychopaths, at least he's talking about something that he has a personal expertise in. But I will respond to what he said. I was going to respond to this to him, but since he lost his cool, I'll have to do it without him. The tariff threat, look what happened yesterday. The day before yesterday, this Jabba the Hutt, Chris Christie-like premier of Ontario, Ford, the brother of the crackhead mayor of Canada, who passed away, came out and said that he was increasing the price of electricity into Minnesota, Michigan, and the state of New York by 25%. And he was even threatening to shut down electricity coming in from Canada to our northern states during the coldest months of the year. President Trump posted on Truth Social that he was ordering the Commerce Secretary to increase all of the tariffs on Canada by 25%, except the cars. He's waiting till April 2nd for that. But that would put Canada at a 50% tariff import tax on all goods into the United States. A couple hours later, Jabba the Hutt Chris Christie, the Jabba the Hutt Chris Christie of Canada, Premier Ford, came out in a hostage video and completely reversed everything. Totally conceded. Totally surrendered. So the tariff threat that Trump is dangling in front of these people works. And we've seen it work with Mexico, who's playing ball. Okay, the delay is re-engaged. But, if a guy is on this beautiful vacation in Italy, it's noontime, why would he be watching and calling me? I don't know. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dayton from Canada.
Hey, Canada.
How's it going, Brian?
It's going good. Your Canada surrendered their sovereignty to President Trump yesterday. You're well on the way of becoming the 51st state.
You don't want this mess.
No, we don't. It would mess up Congress. You would get 2 senators. It'd be awful. We don't want that. And a whole bunch of House members.
Yeah, about yesterday and this whole trade war thing, I really think we're shooting ourselves in the foot by overreacting to it.
Well, no, there was a threat made. There was a threat made on the United States yesterday, which I got to tell you, Michigan, Minnesota, and the state of New York. Those are some of our coldest states. This is the coldest time of year, and Premier Ford came out and was threatening to cut off electricity, which is needed for heat, which is life this time of year in our northern states. That's a very hostile threat that he made.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. I agree too.
I'll tell you what he likes. He likes food. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, luckily I'm not on that side of Canada. I'm out in the west side.
So what's on your mind? You called me.
No, I just, I've been a long time watcher, and
We love Canada.
I live in Canada, so I can't get a Trump hat that says 47 on it.
What do you mean you can't? They won't deliver them there?
Oh, I went to the website, and it said you have to be a Canadian or American citizen because it's something with campaign. Yeah,
You can't go on Canada, and you can't go on the Canadian Amazon and order a "Make America Great Again."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally can, but they're all fake, eh? You know, like you gotta get what's it called? What's Cali fame?
I have no idea.
Cali fame. Look on your hat, the tag underneath there.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Okay.
If it's an official campaign hat, it'll say Cali fame on it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, if Canadians, if our country really wanted to be assholes, we could just...
All right, there we go again, Mike. I hit the dump button again. That's twice in a row. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're on a roll, Mike. Maybe we'll hit a record today. Most dumps in a show. Oh my goodness. You know, we use the dump button. For those that don't know, okay, what that means, just let me explain, then we'll take a break. There's a whole bunch of words, and there's more than 7 of them that you can't say on the radio. So we're on a delay, and how long the delay is varies based on where you're listening to us, okay? But when someone says those words, we hit the dump button, which cuts out what they said, so it doesn't go over the radio. That's what the dump button is and the delay. And we use it more than any other show. The only show that may have come as close to ours on the radio of using the dump button as much may be Howard Stern. And I'll tell you something, this is very, very true. Remember I had to go to Dr. Appleton for arthritis in my finger? This is not a joke. This is serious. It's in the finger that I use for the dump button. And every radio studio that I've worked at all these decades, I've always had the delay where the dump button is on my right. So I could just reach over and, hang up on the caller and hit the dump button. And I've done it so many times over the years, it gave me arthritis in that finger. It's my index finger on my right hand. And I didn't have arthritis in any of my other fingers, just that one finger. And it's from using the dump button all these years. Isn't that crazy? That's how much we used it. I'm not kidding. So maybe these guys got their revenge on me, but I don't have arthritis anymore, thanks to Dr. Appleton. He rid me of my arthritis pain in my finger, and the dump button is not painful to use anymore. It was getting pretty bad. Hey, I might as well give Dr. Appleton's number out. His laser wave pain treatment rid me of my arthritis pain. It really hurt. In fact, it was hurting so bad, I was starting to use my middle finger for the dump button before Dr. Appleton rid me of my arthritis pain in my finger. Let me give you Dr. Appleton's number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Give them a call. Say bye-bye to your pain, too. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. The delay is re-engaged. We'll take our first break of the second hour and be right back. Hey Barry, it's Brian. I'm gonna put you on hold, but it's gonna be a couple minutes. Okay, hold on. Two minutes. We'll be back in 2 minutes. If you're on hold, hang in there. "90 seconds. Yeah, he said if it's an official hat, it's Cali Fame. It says right there, Cali Frame headwear. This is my favorite MAGA hat because Trump has seen this hat like 8 or 9 times with his own eyes in person. So I call this the cap of wisdom, the hat of wisdom. I always feel smarter when I'm wearing it since the president has seen it with his own eyes. I feel like a little bit of his intelligence is left behind. 1 minute. Exactly. What's going on with the callers today? The callers are in a mood. It's like the episode of Star Trek Spock's brain, The Givers of Pain and Delight. You know, they put that thing on McCoy's head, and he could do that operation to put Spock's brain back in his head. 30 seconds. Now, the callers are unhinged. There's no doubt about it. That guy was in Italy, by the way. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show. It's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm great. What do you have for us this morning?
Well, today I wanted to just talk about one of the reasons why I went into the area of practice of being an elder law and estate planning attorney. And it has to do with a situation that happened in my own family with my grandmother who, when I was a college student, she was in a nursing home here in South Florida, and she was already widowed, and she had, of course, many health issues. She was in a nursing home, and she wasn't wealthy, but she had some savings, and the nursing home gave the family advice, and I'm sure they were giving the same advice to other families as well, that she should spend down her money, which was roughly around $7,000 a month for the nursing home, until she got down to the Medicaid limit of $2,000, and then they would apply for her and get her on Medicaid. And of course, this was self-serving that got the nursing home more money because they made more on private pay. And had my grandmother known that there was something called elder law, she could have preserved her assets and not had to spend down her assets, and then not have been, at least perhaps felt like a financial burden or felt insecure financially, and even would have been able to give a small inheritance to her son and daughter, which, not for them, but for her own, desire to do that. So she lost out on all of those things because of the wrong advice, and that's what really motivated me to go into this area, to make sure that people knew that this kind of planning was available. You don't have to go broke. You don't have to spend down your assets if you or your spouse become ill. And that's what we help people do at the Siegel Law Group, is that we help people prepare so that they don't have to go broke in their senior and retirement years.
Yeah, and sadly, that still happens every day, and it doesn't have to. Nursing home and at-home care is how much is nursing and at-home care costing these days in Florida, Barry?
Well, I mean, nursing homes, you could easily look at $10,000 to $15,000 a month.
Wow.
I've seen some even higher. I mean, that's crazy. And then assisted living facilities, I see them roughly around $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month, depending on the level of care.
That's crazy.
And then home care, you're typically looking at $25 to $35 an hour. So, I mean, somebody could easily spend $5,000 or $6,000 a month if they're just getting 40 hours of care.
That's crazy.
Each week.
Who can afford that? I mean, even if you can't afford it, why? I mean, why would you want to do that? And I see people make all kinds of very sad decisions, selling their home for the money. People, sometimes they get reverse mortgages for that and all that stuff. Call the Siegel Law Group. It's a no-charge consultation with the Siegel Law Group. If you mention you heard Attorney Siegel on the program, the number's toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Barry, we'll talk later in the week.
All right, thanks, Brian.
All right, take care. Give him a call, guys. Now, I tell you, I'm going to go back to the phones. But, you know, have you noticed the calls have been very strange today on the program? Very strange. A lot of Trump derangement syndrome going on. And maybe it has something to do with 50 days of success in the second term of our favorite president, Donald Trump. I don't know, but got to keep that finger right next to the dump button at all times today, because something has triggered Trump derangement syndrome. Maybe, you know, today Elon Musk is launching a rocket right here from the great state of Florida to rescue the stranded astronauts who are going to come back to a hero's welcome. There's all kinds of great things happening, and these are all triggers for Trump derangement syndrome. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Why did Trump lie about Elon Musk not working for Doge on an affidavit?
I don't know that that's true.
Why did he lie?
I don't know that that's true.
Affidavit.
I don't know that that's true.
He lied.
Okay, so what do you want to do about it?
Google it.
I can Google it. Okay, all right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? See, the Trump derangement. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, Brian. Chris from Pompano.
Hey, Chris. Oh, my goodness. Our calls are really, you know, in outer space today.
Oh, my goodness. No, but I love it, though. I mean, you handle them well. And,
oh, yeah.
And it's funny, I came across one myself. But, yeah, you know, Mr. Newsom, I mean, we all know that he wants to be a player, and he has his sights set on the White House. And he was part of the machine that was running the show in place of Harris and Biden. And, you know, I remember when they found out that one time that he was doing things that Harris should be doing. But that's why they picked her, so that, you know, she would accept her position and turn a blind eye, and while they run circles around her.
Exactly.
But he was pissed when they had just placed the nomination in her hands. But, yeah, I mean, Savage has the ego. We know that. And you're right. This guy, he's trying to... hell, he's campaigning. What can you say? He's campaigning.
You know, I'm not saying he shouldn't run. You know, I think he's a lunatic. But what he is, let me tell you why he's so frightening. Charlie Kirk and Michael Savage are not stupid people. And he manipulated these guys to go on the show and help him, and they don't even know it. If they heard me talking about it, they would think I was a jerk. But they don't even know they were manipulated. You know, the Charlie Kirk one was really bad because Michael Savage isn't so much a player anymore like Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk gave him an out on the transgendered sports thing last week.
Amazing. No, he has a plan, and you're right. Manipulation is, you know, hey, he's good at it. But it'll all come out.
He's got the presidents that become the people that become presidents, the politicians that become presidents, can manipulate and are charming, even with people that don't like them. You know, I met Bill Clinton a couple times. Once when he was president, and that guy's charming as heck. And I'm sure Obama's the same way. You know, and you may say, I don't like him. These guys, the ones that make it to the White House, for the most part. There's some exceptions. Biden doesn't count for a bunch of reasons. They're charming. That's why Hillary didn't make it. That's why Kamala didn't make it. You know, you got to be charming and be able to manipulate people sometimes. And it's, you know, it's bad. He is a very dangerous man.
100%. No, you're right. Bill Clinton, like you said, was one of the best. But then, of course, he went in there and did what he did. But yeah, this guy Newsom, we don't need him. But the Democrat Party's wide open. I mean, who else do they have? I mean, I think someone will sneak in there towards the end. But listen, none of them are going to beat who the Republicans.
Well, you never know. So, you know, hey, listen, it's a long way off, and all these things. I hope not, but these things are unknown, and the Democrats are going to run somebody, and we don't need our people helping them. You know, listen. There's a big real estate scam just went on with the fires of Malibu. Nothing could convince me anything different, okay? To sit down with this guy that's overseeing that and everything that this is crazy. He claims that they have no border with Mexico. Are you kidding me? They got tunnels coming into San Diego. And he sat there and told Savage that they don't even have a border with Mexico.
No, absolutely. Follow the money. I mean, California's a hot mess, and I'm so glad my son transferred schools. And when I first went out there 2 years ago to see him play football, the gas was $6.59 a gallon. I couldn't believe it. But regulations on top of regulations, and they try to hide behind it.
Yeah.
No. We don't want any leadership from California at all, anywhere near.
And we don't want our conservatives helping them. You know, they lost. The reason that the Democrats are trying to take over podcasting because they saw how Trump used it, okay? And they know that the biggest issue that really hurt them was the transgendered issue. So he got Charlie Kirk in there to turn him around. Michael Savage isn't on the radio anymore, but he has a podcast. So they had Savage on so Savage's podcast listeners would start listening to Gavin. This is crazy what people are doing.
It's amazing, but you're right. There's no-brainers. If you go against any of the mainstream America wants what they want, you're in trouble. And so it's hard for them to walk that back. And you're right. Newsom is really, really trying to work his way back in there.
All right, Chris. Good to hear from you. Take care. All right. All right. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. If you're on hold, hang in there. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number, toll free, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. All right, we will be back in about 90 seconds. I was just going over some things I want to talk about coming. If you're on hold, hang in there. Yeah, the callers today are on another planet. Most of them, not all of them. 30 seconds. All right, stand by, everyone. We are over the halfway mark already. Where has the show gone? Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Today is day 50 of President Trump's second glorious term. Things are going very well. And big things happening today. They're shutting down the Department of Education. This is a liberal lunatic woman who very upset about this and took to social media. Listen. Yeah. I'll play more. You might want to stay by on the dump button because I did listen to this. I'm pretty sure that it's clean, but you never know. President Trump is shutting down the Department of Education today. Republicans have been talking about this for 20 plus years. Every Republican that's ever run for office was talking about shutting down the Department of Education. None of them took a step to do it. And Trump just did it on a dime. So yes, this has been part of the Republican Party platform for 25 years, and we did vote for it, lady. Yes, that's exactly what we voted for a lot of reasons. It's Wednesday, but she did this a couple days ago. Yes, we did. Yes, yeah, we did. How does the Department of Education help? You know what the Department of Education does? It holds over local school districts money, and they use that money to get them to push their DEI, whatever the leftist agenda is at the time, okay? When I was in school, it was about taking Bibles out and sex ed. Now it's about critical race theory, okay? Oh, please. You know, we have property tax in Florida, and that's what pays for our education system. Oh. This is amazing. This liberal loon, she claims to care about children, and in the same breath, she's an abortion advocate. So she wants to punish children in the womb before they're even born. But she's a defender of children. No, they won't. Yeah. Well, it's called, they do help you. There's EBT, there's welfare plans, there's getting a job, there's adoption, there's all kinds of options. There's also an option of not getting pregnant. Keeping your legs closed, okay? Support. See, that's the problem. You know, the Department of Education brings in all these radical things, not just DEI, not just critical race theory, but their abortion rhetoric. Yeah, we will. We'll have a great day. And the Department of Education has been it's been on the wish list of things for Republicans for as long as, since the Reagan era, people were talking about this. And it was one of those things that we never thought was possible. Just like overturning Roe v. Wade. Who would have thought that Roe v. Wade, overturning it, would actually be possible? Trump overturned Roe v. Wade and the Department of Education. Now, here's our education secretary who's overseeing the dismantling of her own department. This is awesome. Secretary McMahon. This is on Laura Ingraham last night. Well, I mean, it means triggered liberals. Triggered liberals who start going nuts when their department is dismantled. Okay. Now, you know, I'll say this about people in the government. We don't like to see people lose their jobs, okay? Nobody likes that. However, the bureaucracy of the federal government hates the American people. They hate us. They think they're better people. You know, have you, one of my favorite movies, Starship Troopers, and this is true in the book too, I believe. I haven't read the book in a long time. But in Starship Troopers, to be a citizen, you had to serve in the military to earn your citizenship. The people that work in the bureaucracy of the federal government, the Department of Education, the Department of this, the Department of that, they think they're the only true citizens of this country, that the rest of us are not citizens, that they've answered a higher calling, President Kennedy's call to public service, and they hate us, they're nasty to us, they're rude to us, they abuse you when you go to their agency. So while we don't like to see anyone lose their job, these things just have to be done. The bureaucracy is out of control. The Department of Education, it's like USAID. Did you see USAID? They sent out an email telling people to use burn bags and burn documents at USAID when they leave. Burn bags. The only time I've ever heard of burn bags are like in the CIA. Why are there burn bags at USAID? Is it standard practice to have burn bags in government agencies that are not involved with the military or the intelligence agencies? This is nuts with what's going on. But you know what? It all has to be done. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mask lady?
Oh, hey, Louise.
Hi. I want somebody to clarify this for me about the Department of Education and so on. My son tells me, Mom, in front of Publix, they're begging for money, for uniforms, etc. There was a commercial on television for weeks and weeks, Stuff the Bus, asking for money for supplies for the schools. Where in heck are our taxes and lottery money going if these people have to be begging for supplies, uniforms?
Well, how do you know they're oh, by the way, Louise, open phones is Friday, but that's okay. I'll partake.
She was talking about property.
Why do you
Where are they going?
Why do you think why do you think that they're necessarily raising money in front of the grocery store for school uniforms? That could just be a con, you know.
Is what?
You say they're in front of a grocery store.
Very low.
Well, I can hear you.
Audio.
Well, I can hear you fine. They're raising money in front of a grocery store, you said, right?
Yes.
How do you know that they're really raising it for the uniforms? Maybe it's a con job.
Oh, no, they're young kids, school kids.
Oh,
and what
they're
about
school
the
kids.
commercials? The commercial on television for months.
Well, I remember when my daughter was in elementary school, we had to buy her uniforms. It was public school, and they were not, we had to go to a uniform store. And when you're young and you have kids that age, it can be a struggle, so,
Well, what about for supplies, school supplies?
I had to buy my own. I had to buy my own supplies. I had to buy my daughter's supplies.
What I want to know, the lottery was supposed to be to fund schools.
Yeah.
And our property tax.
I don't know, Louise. I don't know. I'm not really. I
either.
appreciate the call. I'm not really interested in where she's going with that conversation. Open phones is on Friday. You can call in about anything and everything on your mind on Friday's show, not the other days of the week. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. See, this, you know what I think it is? We've got a couple things going on with our call, because the calls today are weird, right? Would you not agree? The calls today are weird, which is fine. I don't mind a little weirdness. Gives a little variety. We got two things going on. Canada surrendered to Trump yesterday. Ukraine surrendered to Trump yesterday. 50 days of winning in his second term, and the time change. So I think between the Trump derangement and the clocks changing, causing some, mourning of the living weirdos on the program today. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Flo Rida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back. We'll be back in less than 3 minutes. Hold on. Where is that? We'll be back in 90 seconds. I'm just queuing up a couple things I want to play before the top. I have a couple sound bites I wanted to play and I haven't gotten to. If you're on hold, hang in there. Two minutes. Yeah, this time change, this is the worst. Just the worst. I would like it to get darker earlier. When it's darker later, kids are out too late. We'll be back in just over a minute. Randy, it can be exhausting. It can be. But I've been up all night. I got up at 12:30 this morning. I've turned my schedule into like a night person. It's like crazy. 1 minute will be less than a minute, 50 seconds. Well, the time changed. Sometimes they'll drop in a new commercial or take one out. They change the times sometimes. We're coming back in 30 seconds. Things change. It's live. But the show has flown by. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
You hear me okay?
I can.
Hey, IB in Broward.
Oh, hey.
Louise has a point, though. If you think about it, all the money going into the taxes supposed to help.
Open. This is why we only do open phones on Friday. No one cares about school uniforms or school supplies. Okay, no. So you turn the show over to amateurs with the topics. It's go down the tubes. Couple things though. I got a couple sound bites I want to play. And I want to talk about this missing girl that died, okay, on the vacation too. But first I want to tell you about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You know, I've lost over 25 pounds. I did it in 3 weeks, and I feel great, right? I mean, I feel great. But, you know, you don't have to limit it to 25 pounds. You can lose 40 pounds, 50 pounds, even more. I've done no exercise, 0 exercise. I'm eating foods I like. I've never been hungry, and I feel great. I just feel great. I was about 1 pound a day. Now I'm losing. This is amazing. And I've never been on any type of weight loss program or official diet or anything. I mean, I've given up this or that for a couple days, but I've never done anything like official. And, you know, when you get to be over 50, things get tough to, you know, you think it's like, you get a little belly, it's hard to lose, you know, and boom. All of it came off right where I wanted to. My stomach, my waist, it's amazing. And a couple weeks ago, before I even finished and hit my goal, I was at that workshop with Attorney Barry Siegel. I met some listeners that I had met before, and they said, wow, Brian, you look great. You lost weight. And I wasn't even at my goal yet. Yeah. I can see the difference. I can feel the difference. My pants are falling off my body. I've had to add holes to my belt. You know, I'm packing for the cruise this weekend because I got to try on all my fancy cruise clothes to see what fits and what doesn't, what I got to buy because I've lost so much weight. Give Coastal Weight Loss Secret a call. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel, and get your life back, man. I tell you, it's amazing. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. All right? Okay, you know, this girl, they got the video out now of this girl in the Dominican with the guy. And, you know, as the father of a daughter, you know, I only have one child, a daughter. She's going to be 26 next week. But when you're raising a daughter, it's not the same as raising a boy. I mean, I don't know what it's like to raise a boy because I didn't have a son. However, I don't think I would have as many concerns with a son as with a daughter. And we all know what the concerns are. And not always, this is not always the case, but this is the case with this girl in the Dominican Republic. And this is the case with most of these situations at the colleges. Not all, okay, are true. But most of these instances are because the girls drink alcohol. And as a parent, you cannot stress enough not to drink alcohol. That girl was so drunk. You see this video that's come out, the guy's all over her, getting all touchy-feely. She's so intoxicated she can hardly stand up. I'm sure with Natalie Holloway it was the same. And most of these sad incidents with the girls at the colleges, they're drunk, they lose control. Girls, women, don't drink alcohol. Don't drink alcohol. Get a beer in a bottle that you open yourself and milk it all night if you want to walk around and act like you're drinking. Don't drink alcohol unless you've got a chaperone. Even then you shouldn't. But, girls oftentimes travel in packs of protection, right? But girls should not be getting drunk. And if you did away with alcohol, most of these things wouldn't happen. They wouldn't be able to drug the drink if you're not drinking the alcohol. If you got to have something in your hand, have a bottled beer that you open and never set it down. That's it. I'm not blaming this girl for her situation, but if you want to avoid these things, that is what you do. And these predator guys, they look for girls that aren't in their pack that are tanked. And that's what happens, okay? It's sad. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from San Antonio, Texas.
What's up, Texas?
Nothing much. I just wanted to get your opinions on the overall economical state of the country.
The economical state? You got to be more specific. Yeah. I'm not even sure what the economical state is. Ask a specific question. Well, I mean, things are looking good. We've got President Trump in charge. Things are great. Egg prices dropped. Egg prices dropped this week. Gas prices have dropped significantly. In fact, they're almost at the levels they were in 2021 now. We're at a 4-year low on gas prices.
So you're of the opinion that current prices represent good economical standing in the country, like prices of gas.
Well, where's it bad? Okay, tell me what's bad with the economy, if you don't mind.
Well, the GDP overall is a concrete factor of how the economy is.
Okay.
And it's down.
See, this is the problem. Where'd you learn about economics? You went to college?
Well, no, I'm self-taught.
Self-taught. What do you learn about economics?
Well, this is what I'm talking about, the GDP in itself.
You're talking about the GDP. Where did you're self-taught. What did you use to teach yourself about the economy?
Well, peer review studies.
Peer review studies written by, peer review studies. I don't even know what you're talking about, either do you. But here's the thing. President Trump is an economist. Did you know that? He's an economist. Mm-hmm.
How is he an economist? Is he certified as one?
You don't certify someone as an economist, officially. You don't get a certificate. You don't say here's a certificate. You're an economist. He went to that business school in Pennsylvania, so he has a. Slow down. I'm running short on time. For the break. So I want to explain this to you. All right. President Trump has the business degree from that fancy business school in Pennsylvania. That's one. He took a $1 million loan from his father, which he paid back, by the way. Nobody pays back their parents other than Trump. He borrowed $1 million from his dad.
Nobody else pays back people?
I didn't say people. People don't pay back parents. People don't pay back parents.
No, you said nobody else.
You're not gonna filibuster. Okay, I'll do this with or without you. Okay. I'll talk to the audience or I'll talk with you, but you're not going to filibuster.
Well, it's a genuine question.
No, it's not a genuine question. It's not. Everything I'm saying is true. He took a $1 million loan from his father, which he paid back, and he turned it into a $1 billion empire of real estate around the planet. A $10 billion...
Name me three real estate properties he owned.
Mar-a-Lago, the golf resort in Scotland, Trump Doral here in Miami. You won 3. There's 3.
Those were earned.
Okay, all right. Other than the 3 you named, can you name 3 more? Yes, but I'm not. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, something is going on. And that makes him an economist. Other presidents, they're economists, never have jobs in the private sector. They have PhDs in economics and call themselves an economist. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll be right back. Yep. All right, it's going to be a couple of minutes still, a little less than 3 minutes. All right, about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to put you on hold. I'll put. You won't be able to listen. I'll put you on hold and I'll pick you up before we come on. All right, hold on. All right, Steve, you there?
Yes.
All right, 1 minute. We got 1 minute. I'll keep you on. Everybody can hear you, though, so 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay. You there, Steve?
Yeah.
All right, 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And Steve Kane's joining us. Hey, Steve.
Good morning. How are you on this fine day?
I'm fine every day. Even this time change, though, has me all messed up. But, our cruise is coming up. This is our 6th annual cruise.
I know that, yes.
Isn't that crazy? So we will have spent like 6 weeks at sea together after this one. But, it's crazy. But
Tyler's already said this is his first personal appearance.
Oh,
My
great.
son Tyler.
Oh, your son Tyler's coming with you. When we leave on the cruise on the 20th, I just want to remind everyone, the cruise has been sold out for months, sadly. Okay, we have no more cabins to offer you. If something opens up, I'll tell you. But those of you that are already booked, if you have not checked in on the app, do it. And if you don't know how to do it, call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. You will save so much time and aggravation when you get to the port if you're checked in. Okay, so call Ian today and get checked in. But I just realized when we leave, it's going to be my grandfather's birthday. And it will be his 126th birthday. Now, he died back in 1987, but I'm wondering, maybe Elon can find out. I wonder if he's still collecting Social Security at the age of 126. I don't know.
Good question.
Your grandfather may be around 200 at this point.
Or thereabouts.
I can always remember my grandfather's age because he was born in 1899, so it's easy to do the math, But
by the way, I
yeah.
wanted to ask you a question about what you were talking about at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get it's in the post. I didn't get to that part of the post yet. But they found this poor but beautiful girl dead.
I'm not sure she's been found dead. I don't think she's been found dead. They're still looking for her, aren't they? I haven't been following the story closely, honestly, tell you the truth.
Jeez, I'm hallucinating this morning.
No, I was talking about it, but I haven't. We're going there. We're going to the Dominican Republic on the cruise. We're going to Puerto Plata. We're gonna have a great time. Maybe so. If we
Looks like a beautiful place.
Well, I'm gonna go on the shore excursion with our listeners. But if you want to become Columbo and do a search, you're welcome to. While we're there, you can do some detective work. But I haven't been following the case, so I don't know what the.
It's tragic. She is beautiful, though, I'll tell you that.
But here's the thing. I did see the clip of her online. They have some surveillance video of her with this guy that they questioned. She's so drunk she couldn't stand up. And what I was talking about is, not in every instance, okay, Lincoln Riley is not one of these instances, but more often than not, even with Natalie Holloway, this was true in Aruba, when girls run into trouble like this, they're usually drunk. So drunk, they've almost blacked out. And girls should not be drinking alcohol unless they're with people that they can trust that are sober to keep an eye on them. And alcohol, these predator guys, these are the girls they look for at the clubs. And they target them. And girls should not be, if this girl was not drinking, she probably wouldn't have run into the trouble she ran into. And even these girls with these sad situations in the colleges, it's mostly alcohol related. These guys, and I know they say, well, they sometimes they drug them. They put a roofie in their drink. Well, if they're not drinking anything, they can't drug what they're drinking. And I know there's a lot of peer pressure when you're young. So the only thing I would recommend if you insist on having alcohol is order a bottled beer that you see opened and never set it down. And you can milk that beer all night. Okay?
It's good advice.
And if alcohol were not involved, a lot of these girls would be alive. I'm just telling you. And it's really just a little bit of a public service announcement that I'm doing for the, for the parents out there to protect Your daughters. And
Yeah, that's for sure.
yeah, I know. I mean, you have daughters. I have a daughter. It's scary. We know how guys are. But you know that. But one thing I've always told my daughter: don't drink alcohol when you're alone. If when I was young and single and clubbing, girls used to travel, and we used to say they travel in packs. In groups, we say they travel in packs, and they do that for their protection. But sometimes they get astray like this, they're tanked, and boom, they're done. This time of year, it's spring break. It happens. I mean, it's just so irresponsible. It really is. Okay, you want to take some calls?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to caution you. Today, I've been taking calls since 6 a.m. This has been one of the most bizarre days of calls I've ever had. It's Trump derangement times infinity is going on. Today is Trump's 50th day of his second term. The White House has released a list, 50 days of winning. Yesterday, Canada surrendered to President Trump. Ukraine caved on the ceasefire. And there's been, and today, early this evening, around 7-ish, I hope it's the skies are clear. What time does it get dark now? Is it dark at 7 now or not? Or is the sun still out? I hope it's dark. I think the sun's still out. Elon Musk is launching a rocket ship from Florida tonight to rescue the stranded astronauts. They'll be at the
You know what time that is?
around 7. The rocket, Elon spacecraft will reach the space station tomorrow, and this is the first rescue mission in space ever in history. There's never been a rescue mission before.
When is the transfer scheduled to occur?
The rocket leaves tonight around 7:15ish. Okay,
Right.
It docks at the space station tomorrow on Thursday. Rocket launches
Do they give an ETA on the arrival time?
tomorrow,
Because, I mean,
sometime tomorrow.
I'd like to watch it.
Well, hopefully, I'm sure Elon scheduled it after the show, after we're off the. I don't know what time it's going to dock. And this is a
they got a very ticklish problem with that.
Why?
Because they would love to promo it. I mean, everything with Donald is carefully orchestrated and designed to help the campaign. But this was a tricky one because you don't want to make. How much exposure do you give it? Do you feature it and make it a big thing?
Yes. What are you worried about? What are you worried about?
What do you think I'm worried about?
There's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about. No way. Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm so glad you told me that because I was worried.
What would you be worried about?
I'm worried about it. Thing is already 6 months later.
No, it's not. No. They went up on a private rocket from another company, not Elon's.
Right.
They went up on I think it was a Boeing rocket.
But he's helping to bring them back, right?
It was no. Hold on. They went up on a Boeing rocket. Okay, that's another company, and their spaceship failed, and that's why they were stranded, and Biden left them up there. Elon's SpaceX, there's no problems with that. His manned rockets go up and down every day. He's launching. There's no problems, and there'll be no. The only possible problem is these astronauts are never Trumpers. Okay, and they may, so they may throw a fit. But this is the first rescue in outer space in the history of space flight. It's never happened before, not just the United States.
I think you're being overly.
No, I'm not. Steve, I follow the space program, so I just don't talk about it. I follow it like so closely. I'm on my roof at least once a week watching a rocket launch. Okay, I'm very into it. I follow this and I have my whole life. This is something I'm really into. And the Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrated on impact. The reason that NASA made a decision to kill those astronauts because back in those days there was not the ability to rescue stranded astronauts, and they knew that the Columbia was going to not make it back. They knew the heat shield was damaged, but they had no way to get them, so they had to let them come back and die. This is the first rescue in outer space in history. Apollo 13 was not a rescue. Okay? They got lucky and saved themselves. There was no rescue on Apollo 13. Okay? This is the first rescue in the history of humanity in outer space. Elon Musk is personally doing this. He's rescuing these astronauts, and they're going to come back to a historic, heroic welcome back here on the planet Earth. And the left and the media that want to portray Elon Musk as Hitler or something evil is making history today and throughout the rest of the week, and it's absolutely amazing.
From your lips to God's ears, but
what are you worried about happening?
I'm worried about it crashing.
Why would it crash? Why would it crash? Why would
they schedule a thing for how long was the original?
Steve, they went up on a rocket from another company.
Right.
The other company sucks. Their rockets and spaceships suck. Okay? It's a third-rate company. Elon's spaceships are perfect.
Then why have they been up there this
Because
long?
they went up on the other company's rocket. They didn't go up on SpaceX. Why is it taking so long? Because Elon Musk talked about this. He offered to rescue them months ago, and Biden wouldn't authorize it. Biden wouldn't authorize it, wouldn't let him do it because he's MAGA, and Biden didn't want Elon to look good. So Biden made a decision to leave the astronauts stranded. President Trump gave him the go to rescue them.
Biden has been gone.
Steve, it takes a while to plan the mission. Today is day 50. Trump has not been in office for 2 months, and he authorized and ordered a space rescue, and they put it together in 50 days.
I hope you're right.
I know I'm right. It's unheard of.
I'm glad you know you're right.
Steve, they've never done.
I'm relieved.
This is like Christopher Columbus, Neil Armstrong like going on here. The first rescue in outer space that's ever happened. And
why did it? Then why? All right, if you want.
It took Trump 50 days to make it happen.
So let me ask you, why did they not talk about it more yesterday?
Because the media hate Trump. Because the media hate Trump.
I was watching on Fox.
Well, I don't know. Okay, I'm not a news director at Fox, but it's a huge historic story, and they're just not properly covering it.
So now Fox is trying to get.
I don't know why they didn't cover it yesterday. I don't know, but it's huge, and there's no risk. No, 50. Think about it. Trump came in. He said, "Get the astronauts, Elon," and 50 days later, come on, yeah.
If you talk about what went on yesterday with that whole Michigas at the car dealership.
Well, the media
didn't say anything.
The media are missing.
Because they didn't push it.
They are pushing it. How do you think I know about it? I'm not at NASA. I'm following the news. This is huge. The media just aren't covering it. I don't know why, but it's huge. They don't want to make Elon a hero. All right, listen. I'm going to put you on hold. We're gonna take our break. If you're on hold, hang in there. There's only one opening on the board. I'm Brian, Steve Kane Show. Back after this. All right, Steve, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, just over 2 minutes. We'll be back.
Okay.
90 seconds. We'll be back. All right, 30 seconds. All right, 10. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve Kane, of course, is here. There's only one opening on the board. You want to go to the phone, Steve?
I would like to not only go to the phones, I would like some people to call in and tell me if I'm in outer space, pardon the pun.
About what?
With what's going on here. I'm telling you, you're wrong. This is a precarious mission. They've never done this before.
It's the first... No. It is the first rescue in space, but Elon... But Elon has... I'm going to go to the phones. It's the first rescue in space, but Elon Musk has sent spaceships to the space station successfully and back many, many times. They're stranded by another company. All right, let's go. Steve doesn't take my word for it. We have to go to you guys. He trusts perfect strangers more than me. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, what's up?
Go. Tell me. What's your comment?
Go ahead, Ben.
Sorry.
What's your comment?
Yeah. So, Steve, I don't know why you're so befuddled about the rocket situation. Biden sent someone up. They couldn't get him back down from Boeing. Elon offered to get him back down. Biden said no because it would make Biden look bad. Trump gets in the office. He lets Elon go and gets him.
And 50 days.
I understand that storyline. I understand that.
That's the truth.
We're questioning whether it's dangerous or not.
So, I mean, when you go to space, there's always an inherent danger because space is so inhospitable. But
when you go to space and you schedule for, I don't know the exact numbers, but you're scheduled for a couple-day trip, and it turns into almost
but Steve, it's another company. Boeing sent. It was another private company whose rockets suck. Ben, Steve doesn't want to hear this. Finish up, Bill.
Boeing got him stuck. Boeing does not have the capability to get him back down. Elon can get him unstuck. Well, you're talking about safety.
Steve, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to launch a rocket, but Elon's are fine. The ones with people on them, that is, they're fine.
It'll be fine. It's going to be great to look after because we can take champagne as we see the rocket come back down. Great to look.
These astronauts.
This is routine.
If a Democrat were in office, these astronauts would get the first parade through New York City since the Apollo days. No parades, nothing for these guys. It's going to be like Gus Grissom.
They did this with Mark Vogel. They let this guy rot in a Russian prison and got Brittany Griner out in exchange for the Merchant of Death.
Yes,
because,
that's right.
It
does, because Biden decided to leave them there. Biden left them there. Okay, listen. The United States, we do not have a government manned space program. We contract through SpaceX, okay? Biden would not authorize a rescue mission to the space station because Elon's MAGA and he didn't want Elon to look good.
I understand the storyline.
It's not the storyline. It's the facts. All right, Ben.
That's what we're arguing about.
I'm getting a headache.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Ben. Take care. Oh my goodness, Steve. Hold on a second here. Our phones are ringing so fast. All right, you want to take some more calls, Steve? Hold on. Are you back with us, Steve? Now, hold on. Let me get Steve back. I lost Steve. All right, Steve, you with us? All right. I don't know why I lost Steve, but I'll go back to the calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Brian. How are you today?
All right. I lost Steve. I'll get him back during the break. Go ahead, Richie.
All right. What I wanted to say to you was, and this was basically, I'm not knocking you, but when you tell Steve, oh, this is great, there's nothing to worry about, third-rate company. Well, let me say this to you. I watched the skies of Florida.
That was the moon rocket. That wasn't the regular one they send people on.
I get it.
That's a new rocket that they're testing.
Yeah, that's the third one that blew up.
But it's not the kind. That's a new rocket that doesn't have people on it that they're testing. The ones that people go up in, there's no problems, Richie.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying, but I remember looking at Broward College when we lost the Challenger. And I know that when you go to California to visit your daughter, you say you sit at the bar first and you have to get lit up because you don't.
Yeah, I do. I get tanked. Yes.
Anytime you're going up there, to me, you're 99.9% of the time you're going to be right, and I'm going to be right on this. But it's not as safe as you.
All right, Richie. Listen, Richie, I got a break. Thanks for the call. I'll get Steve back during the break. If you're on hold, stand by. There's only one opening where Richie the bus driver was. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our break for the bottom. Be back with your calls on Steve Kane after this. Steve, you there? Yeah, I lost you. Okay, it's the bottom of the hour break. I'll put you on hold. I'll check back with you in a couple. We'll be back in a couple. I don't have the time yet. I'm waiting for them to tell me. I'll get back to you as soon as I know. Hold on. All right, Steve?
Yes.
Yeah, 1 minute. Less than
you hear me?
Yep, less than a minute. We'll be back in about a minute. All right, 30 seconds. We are back. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. The phones are ringing off the hook.
Yeah, Space Control to Major Tom. Can I make a statement?
That's a great song.
I didn't know this would turn into the whole show. I just wanted to let you know how I feel. My position is that there's a lot more danger involved in this than anybody that I've heard so far wants to admit. And I think the fact that there hasn't been exposure and a lot of attention paid to it is conscious because they know that it could go wrong.
Steve,
I think it is dangerous.
It depends.
I think the fact they've been up there this long indicates that they're having major problems that they don't want to feature.
No,
that they don't want to make an issue of.
Elon has no problems. All right, let's take some calls. We're going around in circles.
Because I'm interested to see what the audience's impression is.
All right. Well, if they agree with me, they're right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Louise from Delaware.
Hey, Louise.
Hi. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Louise.
Good morning, Steve. I feel very badly for you guys having to listen to some of those crazy callers this morning. It's very sad.
Yeah.
But you seem to enjoy it.
Thank God.
Anyway, I want to also thank you for the great perspective you give me every day. And I have an example of a perspective. Well, you give me a perspective that I don't think other people that are very popular in podcasting do. And I want to give you an example. I don't listen to Dan Bongino very often, but I thought I'd turn it on. It was, I think, last Thursday. And just because he's going to be going off the air. And he started to mention how he didn't understand why people were getting upset about Charlie Kirk being on Newsom's podcast.
See, it lets you know who's listening to this show. Thanks. Where he's in our listening area, Bongino. He's listening. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Well. Anyway, I couldn't believe it because he ended up saying that we need to talk to people with different opinions.
Oh my gosh.
And I agree with that. But not Newsom.
No, Newsom's bad news.
And I agree with you.
Let me explain to you. Let me slow down. Let me explain to you what the difference is, okay? And I'm glad Bongino is within the listening range of our radio stations, so that lets me know he's listening because we're the only ones that have talked about that. Okay, here's the thing. Talk is an art form, okay? And Steve has been doing this since 1977, okay? And I know a lot of you know this. I used to listen to Steve when I was in high school. Makes Steve feel old. But Steve was on, you were on in afternoons on IOD back then. And I think it was 2 to 6 you were on. And we got out of school at 2:35. And in my first car, there was no FM radio. It only had AM. So I discovered AM radio because my car only had AM radio, and I used to listen to Steve when I got out of school. I missed the first 35 minutes, Steve, because I was in school. But so Steve, he learned this craft from the master Joe Pine, who is also, although we didn't know him, is also who. Howard Stern used to listen to Joe Pine and Bob Grant, and Steve Kane learned the art of talk from them. I learned this from Steve. Bongino's a great guy, but a lot of people that are doing talk, like Bongino, they haven't learned from maestros like I learned from Steve or Steve learned from Joe Pine. They're like activists who just shout out conservative things. All right, we're going to take down these lefties. Come on, let's go to the phone. There's a perspective and an art form to it that a lot of these people don't have. Mark Levin doesn't have it. Charlie Kirk doesn't have it. Certainly these no talents that they put on in Rush's time slot, Clay Aiken and Buck Sexton. Yeah, Buck Sexton, that sounds like a name of a gay porno star. Buck Sexton, doesn't it? And Buck Wild. And they're just not trained, talented talkers. They're just conservative people that shout out. that bark things into microphones. I'm not trying to toot our own horns too much, but a lot of you are new to the show and don't know the background, so it doesn't hurt to brag on ourselves a little bit. But that's one of the frustrations I have, and that's why you hear me so critical of a lot of these people that do talk. Okay, Rush Limbaugh was on. Sean Hannity learned from great people, even though he's vanilla, learned from the great Rush Limbaugh. Okay, so these other guys like Bongino, they just don't have perspective. And Newsom, the reason she's talking about this, Steve, is Savage was manipulated and went on the second episode of Gavin Newsom's podcast, and he was completely manipulated by Newsom. And he let him know, he let the Savage let the listeners know that he's been a phony. Steve, remember Savage? Our tagline on this program is the Steve Kane Show is the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And our second tagline is, this is where MAGA comes to talk, right? Michael Savage on his show, it's language, borders, culture. How many times have you heard that? Language, borders, culture on the Savage Nation. He goes on Gavin Newsom's show, and he says he's got this friend who's an illegal Mexican that he's known forever that's been illegal in the country for 20 years. And somehow he's paying taxes, which means he's probably got someone else's social security number. So Gavin Newsom was able to manipulate Savage into admitting that he's a phony on the borders, language, culture, right?
Wasn't it Savage who always said liberalism is a mental disease?
Well, he got played by a mental patient, and then last week Charlie Kirk got Gavin Newsom off the hook on the transgendered athletes. Steve and I would never fall for that. If Steve and I were in studio with Newsom, it'd be a much different situation. Okay, and these guys, even
pulling your hair out.
Yeah, it's frustrating because we're great. This is the best show anywhere and that does this type of talk.
I agree.
I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. It is. And why do you think I worked with Steve for so long? Because I liked what he did, and I wanted to learn and do it. And the thing with Savage. He also is just if you ever heard, I saw Savage get his clock cleaned on CNN once by Michael Jordan. And if you've ever heard a liberal old, like a lady, like nice lady, but you hear an old lady call Savage on the air and challenge him, who's a liberal, he loses it. He was not, he's not skilled like Rush or Steve or me or Hannity. Okay, he's just a guy that apparently was saying things that he didn't believe because he's been harboring this illegal Mexican for 20 years, his friend, right?
That's true.
I mean, I couldn't believe that. That's why I brought that up today. When I heard that clip, that would be like finding out that Steve and I were taking girls for abortions, even though we're talking about being pro-life and promote adoption.
Well, that's my point about your perspective. And because I listen to you and I really count on your perspective, that when I heard Bongino say, well, we got to talk to, which I agree, but not Newsom. And I agree that they were giving him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, they were giving Newsom some sort of a foothold to look like he was a moderate.
This is yes. Okay, so I talked about this at length earlier, Steve. Okay, but I'll give you guys the Reader's Digest version. Democrats are getting in the podcast because Trump had so much success with them, right? And I've been in my podcast I've been doing for over 10 years. It's been a very big audience, okay, and I've been doing it many years, over 10 years, 12 years. What Newsom is doing, he's running for president, and he understands why the Democrats got creamed so much. And so he's doing this podcast, bringing on these idiots like Savage and Charlie Kirk to present himself to Democrats as a reasonable Democrat, a moderate. And as an example, and to prove this, President Trump won a ton of Democrat votes, millions, who voted Republican for the first time. But we barely got the majority in the House because while they voted for President Trump, they still voted Democrat down ballot on the House races, okay? So Gavin's aware of this. He's already walked back the most deadly issue to Democrats, the trans one. And he did this whole tax immigration discussion with Savage, and he made Savage look like the hypocrite with the Mexican that his friend that's in here illegally, that he thinks, by the way, should have legal status. Savage, what happened to Borders language culture, Dr. Savage? I mean, he is, and what's scary about it, Newsom's dangerous. Savage and Charlie Kirk are not stupid people, but they were manipulated. They were played by a puppeteer with Newsom, and they don't even. And you know what? They don't even know they were played. They don't even know they don't even know they were manipulated. That's how good he is. He's dangerous,
He's experienced.
That's right. And Republicans need to stop going on that podcast. They're helping him. They're helping him get the Democrat nomination, and they're taking Democrats away from the voting of whoever Trump endorses in 4 years. I'm sorry. I mean, now if Steve and I were on with Newsom, it would be a different experience. We wouldn't be able to be manipulated by him like that. Okay?
That's for sure.
Yeah, but these guys are idiots. And I don't know who's going to be next. Ben Shapiro, maybe. I don't know. Or, I wouldn't be surprised. Or there's no talents. Clay Aiken, I know his name is not Clay. Clay Aiken's the gay guy from American Idol, okay? That's just a little bit of the ridicule that I use, But Clay Aiken and Buck Sexton, I wouldn't be surprised if they went over there, okay? They're helping Gavin Newsom, and he's winning over Democrats, because a lot of Democrats, one of the reasons Trump did so well with Democrats who are black is because of the transgendered issue. And boom, Gavin's already switched, courtesy of Charlie Kirk.
Very sad.
All right, I know. Hey, I appreciate the call. All right, take care. Our liberal listeners, our liberal callers gave me arthritis. You know that, Steve? I was talking about this earlier. I had arthritis in my index finger, and this is the finger that I use to push the dump button when our liberals use profanity. And it's the only finger I had arthritis in. And the arthritis was pretty bad. It was so bad, I mean, I was almost in tears. And I went to see Dr. Appleton. I said, Doc, I said, I feel so ridiculous coming in here with my fingers in so much pain. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I'm almost in tears. I don't know what to do. And he says, Brian, you've got arthritis. I said, oh, well, I'm done. I got arthritis. I mean, that's it. He says, no, I can treat arthritis with the laser treatment. And he did. My arthritis pain is gone. It's gone. My finger is in its pre-dumping condition. Totally painless. He treated me for this, I don't know, 6 months, a year ago, and it hasn't returned. It's amazing. His laser treatment works. I'm going to give you Dr. Appleton's number. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain, too. It works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. There's no shots, no injections, no pills, no drugs, no downtime, and appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. His number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. Hey there, hold on. Steve, you there? Steve.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to conference you in with Youngerman.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. When we
Brian, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to conference you in with Youngerman. But we're not back yet. I'm waiting to find out what time. Hold on. Okay, less than a minute. So I'm going to... 45. Okay, I'm going to conference you in now, but we're not going to be back for 30 seconds. All right, William, you there? Okay,
yes,
we'll be back. We're going to be on the air in about 30 seconds. Just stand by.
Okay.
10 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Steve, of course, is here, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Oh, the metals are looking very good, Brian. They're doing what they are famously known to do, and that's preserve our wealth and protect our investments. The only true and real money in the world, gold trading yesterday in a range of $2,878 all the way up to $2,923, closing up on the day $27.40 at $2,915.50. Silver gaining 82 cents yesterday, closing at $32.90. Platinum was up $20 at $977. And palladium gained $3 at $927. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $2,907 all the way up to $2,925, just about $25 away from our all-time record high. Gold right now at $2,920. That's up another $4.50. Silver, the big gainer in this week, and one that we've said lately that we thought was going to break out, and it certainly has, breaking out to the upside and showing itself very strong in relationship to the fact that it's been so weak and compared to gold, trading at one point over 90-to-1 ratio to gold. That's being pulled back a little bit now. We're on an 88-to-1 ratio. Ooh. But silver gaining 25 cents this morning, above $33 an ounce now, $33.15 the ounce.
Wow.
Up $8 at $9.85. And palladium up $7 at $9.34. So the metals are poised very nice, having pulled back, given us some test of those support areas, holding nicely, giving us a little buying opportunity this week and last week. But now it's time to start really accumulating, because I think silver especially is going to take off soon.
So you're recommending a buy on silver today?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Okay. What are some of the best deals on silver right now? Where you get most silver for your money?
Almost everything is on sale as far as silver. We are seeing some of the premiums coming back up. Certainly on Silver Eagles, the premiums have come back up. The 100-ounce bars are still on sale at just $1 over spot.
Wow.
The 1-ounce silver rounds are very reasonably priced, and of course the Silver Eagles are still fairly trading at about the mint distribution prices right now, so that's a great value also, especially if you like those Silver Eagles, which are very popular for collectors also.
Yeah, they are, and you want to get, whenever William Youngerman tells you there's good, it's time to buy on the Silver Eagles. I know the silver. There's some people they're Silver Eagle guys. That's it. So it's time to jump on. Listen, give William Youngerman a call. He opens up at 10 a.m. His number 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010, or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto, okay? Immediately east of US 1 and Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And you can find both William Youngerman's address and phone number on his website, williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow.
Okay, and just reminding everybody, we're always ready to pay highest prices in cash for all your gold and silver and diamonds and watches and collectibles. So see us
Absolutely, first. Absolutely. All right, William, we'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Take care. Wow, Steve, over $2,900. It's like the new norm, right? For gold, it's crazy. Oh my goodness. All right, let's take some of these calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Oh, awesome. Oh, hooray. Great. My name is Ivan. I'm from Florida.
Yeah. Okay, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
Well, first and foremost, awesome shirt. It's great. Second, your show's pretty well done, too. I appreciate your show. I find it comical how a lot of these people here think that Trump can overturn, 4 years of bad economic policy within less than 90 days.
50 days. Today's day 50.
I know, like I said, less than 90 days. So, I think a lot of these people are living proof on why we need to dissolve our Department of Education.
Yeah.
Because if this is a product that we get of these expectations of people who never learned how the government works, or how business works, or how anything in general works, then there's no reason to pump so much money in education.
Well, another thing that the president has done, is he's brought about Carolyn Levitt brought this up yesterday. He's brought about $1 trillion in investments already into this country. And I have never in my life seen presidents have press conferences with heads of industry from other countries that are pouring hundreds of billions into the U.S. The other presidents have a press conference and they're giving money away. He's bringing money in, $1 trillion so far in 50 days.
And you know what I also find funny too is how a lot of people are talking about how bad our trade war is with Canada. Like, first off, these guys folded like a paper football.
Yeah, they surrendered.
Yes, because like their tariffs to us is a minor inconvenience. Our tariffs against them could cripple their whole economy.
Did you see Ford?
America has the leverage.
Did you see the press conference with Ford yesterday in Canada? Oh,
no, sir,
this was great. Now, the day before yesterday, he hobbled out there. He's as big as Chris Christy, and he's all butch. We're going to cut off the electricity, but before we do, we're going to raise it 25% in the winter months. You know, and then he came out yesterday afternoon. It was a hostage video. He looked terrified. He was apologizing.
Did you see the article about in the Post?
No, I didn't.
Ford, evidently, there are pictures starting to circulate with him and Epstein.
Well, his brother was a crackhead. Remember the crackhead mayor of, I think, Toronto? He's passed away. So they got a lot of vice in that family. His vice is food, obviously.
I don't doubt that a lot of these government officials have relatives that are on some type of hard drugs. Like, it makes total sense to me. I think most of them are probably on hard drugs themselves.
Well, let me tell you, some big money guys in Canada got to him and made him do that. Because he did not look well. He looked terrified. Like you want to still be the premier, which is like the governor. You're going to go out there. He had to apologize to President Trump. Just like Zelensky did yesterday, too. They both apologized to President Trump yesterday, Zelensky and Ford in Canada.
Do you remember when Zelensky, like last week or 2 weeks ago, got into that spat at the White House and left, and then he did like a whole European tour?
Yes.
And talking about how Europe's going to back him. I think it was like the guy from the UK or one of those garbage nations in Europe who went out there and said,
I would warn you not to get too cocky, because the serious negotiation is what is left. And because we haven't taken on the enemy yet. The enemy is Putin.
He's not our enemy. He's not our enemy.
These other guys,
Putin's our friend.
Sure. Go ahead.
Zelensky is the greatest enemy because, number one, he's not our ally. Number two, he's a proven dictator. He's actually right now kidnapping people in the streets to throw in the front line with no weapons and no trainings. Three, he actually suspended. He's so much for democracy that he actually suspended.
How do you feel about Putin?
That he suspended their election.
You answer.
And he has them under martial law. Well, first off, don't try to straw man me while I'm in the middle of explaining things. Your dumb democratic arguing points aren't going to work.
Get off the phone, you
allow me.
All right, okay. Now he's new to the show, Steve. You gotta get a little. You know, I want to tell people. You know, so. Steve, you know, it's an interesting thing. You know, I don't have health insurance, so people wonder, how do you do it? You know, you're not going to hear me say this too much, but next month I'm going to be 54 years old, getting up there. But I don't have health insurance. But people say, well, at your age, what do you do? Well, we have sponsors, right? And all the sponsors we have, they take such good care of me. So, you know, I was talking earlier about Dr. Appleton rid me of my arthritis and all my other pains. And at Coastal Weight Loss Secret, we got Dr. Zuckerman. I lost over 25 pounds in 3 weeks, right? So it's amazing. You know, Steve, I gained weight since the last cruise. Okay, and I wanted to lose the weight before the cruise because I didn't want everybody. Oh boy, Brian, you look a little different than you did last year. Well, I'm lighter than I was last year. I am the same weight, Steve, I was when my daughter was born, and she's going to be 26 years old next week. I am the same weight I was when my daughter came home from the hospital when she was born. I've done 0 exercise unless you count running my mouth. I've done no steps. I'm not eating weirdo food. I'm eating all the foods I like. I'm not hungry. And I lose about 1 pound a day. Okay, sometimes a little bit more, but about 1 pound a day. But, you know, I just want to lose 25 pounds. But if you want to lose 40 pounds, 50 pounds, even more, Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you too. And I'm going to give you the number. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the True Oldies channel. All right, here's the number. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. Steve, Elon's rocket rescue launches sometime between 7 and 7:30 tonight. And Elon's spaceship will dock at the International Space Station sometime tomorrow to rescue the astronauts that Biden and Boeing stranded up there. And
what is the most dangerous portion of the journey?
The launch. But it's not dangerous.
Tonight.
This is
launch?
The launch is always the most dangerous. Yes. Because that's where you have all the rocket fuel, but you got nothing to worry about. These rockets are fine. Elon's been to the space station so many times. It's beautiful. This is awesome. So the best friend of the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, the first, what does he call himself? The first bro? The first bud. Elon Musk. He's also the richest African American and the richest man in the world, and he's also the richest man who's ever lived. He is going to make history by launching the first rescue in outer space and return them all.
Beautiful thing.
Oh my goodness, yeah. There's going to be now again, these astronauts are, at least one of them's a never Trumper, the lady, okay? So they may refuse the White House visit. Okay, I don't know.
The lady looks like a skeleton.
Yeah, you should have seen her before she went to space. Oh my goodness. But she's a never Trumper, okay? So she may refuse the White House visit. But this is just amazing. This is winning. Remember what the president said, the golden age of America. You know, she's also made history. This is the first documented case of Trump derangement syndrome in outer space. And she's got it. All right, we're out of time for today. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. See you tomorrow. Take care. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. All right? And if you're already subscribed, do me the favor of liking the video. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk.